What's going on, everybody? Shane Sams in the house today. I am here to help you earn your entire income online and grow your impact out in the world through online business, through online memberships, through online communities. We've got a great show for you today. I got some great questions. We're going to talk about a lot of tips, tactics, strategies, all the things that we need to do to go out and make money online. But first, I want to share a little can't miss moment with you. These are moments in my life that I would not have gotten to experience if I had not started, built, and grew my own online business, if I didn't earn my income online, if I didn't have total control of my time, and if I didn't have an impact out in the world, I didn't have a personal brand that I'm relying on for my income and for my business. You know, I remember when I used to be a school teacher in Southeast Kentucky, I felt like I had no control over my life. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I got paid every Friday, every other Friday, but that dang paycheck ran out every other Thursday. Have y'all ever had a paycheck like that where it's always like a day late and $1 short? And, you know, my time was completely controlled. I had to be at the school from 5:30 to 3:30 every day. Then I had football practice, and like you never had a minute off. You never had a break, and you never had a chance to go out and explore all this world has to offer. You never had a chance to invest your time and money into yourself. But now that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a self-employed, location independent online business owner, I get to do a lot of cool things. Jocelyn and me and my family, we get to do a lot of cool things. Our students who are in our community building incredible online businesses, they get to live a different life than a lot of people out there get to. People who have W-2s, people who are 9-to-5ers, people with those golden handcuffs, even with the good job. You know, I've always thought about this. Doctors never get a minute off. Like they're the most 9-to-5 like trapped slaves to their clock as anybody else. Like the guy punching a clock at the factory has got to stand there on the factory line, but you know, you can't nod off in surgery if you're a doctor, right? So like, God bless them. I love them. And thank God there are doctors out there. But I need a little more freedom in my life. Can I get an amen, y'all? You all need some freedom out there. And it's really cool, some of the opportunities that have come up in my life, these can't miss moments since I became an online business owner. So one of them has actually been mental health and therapy. Jocelyn and I, over the past 3 or 4 years, really discovered counselors, discovered therapists, discovered going to retreats and doing the hard work of overcoming, trauma, depression, anxiety, mental baggage, all the hangups and hurts that hold us back in life. And over the last few years, you know, we have had the time and the money to really get our minds right and get out there and remove those obstacles and do that. And one of the great finds we've had of all the therapists that we've used, we have an amazing relationship coach. His name is Will Etheridge. We'll try to link to some of his stuff in the show notes. He's just building an online brand, but we got to know him through friends, and we hired him to be our relationship coach for a while. We did therapy with him. He's a psychotherapist, and basically me and John, man, our relationship right now is firing on a different level. We're talking about doing things we never could have dreamed possible. We're just looking at all the different ways we can like work together and partner in our business and our parenting and our life. And we're going on adventures that we never would have even considered. And like, we're just like, man, it's just like life has become this amazing, fun, beautiful experience that we're going through together. And a lot of that is because of the work we've done with our relationship coach. Well, Will also is a family therapist, so he can work with families as well. And we thought, you know what, we need to introduce therapy and mental health work, and we need to introduce this to our kids at a young age. And we actually last weekend flew our family and relationship coach to our house, to our lake house. For those of you who don't know, we've got 40 acres in the mountains of Kentucky. We've got a private lake on our house, and like it's just an amazing, serene Garden of Eden type place. Right. So we brought Will in and we said, hey, we're going to work with the kids for 2 days. We're going to do belief work. We're going to get in there and talk about things that are hard. We're going to talk about the benefits and challenges of all the different things we're going through in life. And it was just absolutely incredible. And my mind is blown because, guys, you've got to go out and make more money. You've got to earn more income to have opportunities like this, because it's not cheap. 1, to work with a therapist. 2, to fly them in on an airplane from another state, right, and fly them home, right? Like that's expensive, right? And then the fee of him spending 2 whole days with us, he can't meet with other clients during that time, guys. So we had to pay him for all of his time, all of his hours that he was working with us those days. But it was just so glorious and so next level and so beneficial to see our kids respond to this amazing work that is just going to do nothing but cause ripples in their life for the rest of their life. And to be able to provide that opportunity. When I was a school teacher in Southeast Kentucky, like I could probably have never even afforded therapy let alone afforded the experience that we had last weekend. That's what gets me out of bed every day. That's what makes me work so hard. That's what makes me want to earn it. That's what makes me want to roll up my sleeves, open my wallet, invest my time and treasure every day into this self-employed lifestyle of being an online entrepreneur, because I've seen what it makes possible for me, for my wife, for our relationship, for our family, and for our kids. And can't miss moments like that are why we do what we do. It's why we come here for this show every week, so that we can help you build the business too that you need, build the life that you can, help you earn your income online, help you grow your impact out in the world, so that you can have those can't miss moments for yourself first, for your partner, for your family, and all of the things that we have seen come to pass in our life. We want that to have and happen for you too. So I got inspired today. I got a little misty eyed. I was thinking about that. And I said, man, I've got to tell people what's possible. I got to show them what's possible when you ask the right questions, when you take the right actions, and you go out and you start building, growing online business, when you make money online, when you earn your income online, and you grow your impact out in the world. So let's get started today, man. I'm fired up today, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good show. We got some, I am high energy today. We're going to get absolutely after it. So we're going to, without further ado, let's jump in and see what's going on in the community. And let's jump in and see what our first question is today. Who we got next, Patricia?
We have Gretchen.
Hey, Gretchen, how are you?
Oh, gosh, it's my turn. Good. How are you?
It is your turn. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. Good. I'm very happy to be here.
Happy you're here. Are you in a cabin? Like I'm looking at, if you're watching on YouTube, but are you in a cabin that got that wood background? Like, where are you?
I use this as my office, but it is out of our home. It's just like a sunroom.
Ah, that is amazing. That looks like a peaceful spot.
Well, it's good because I'm a therapist, so I want it to be peaceful.
There you go. All right. I about 2-3 years, let's say 2020, Jocelyn and I started a really deep healing journey in our life of just, trauma and things like that. And we started going to therapy, getting into therapy. I bet in 2022, I did therapy every week for like a whole year, just getting through things. And and man, people need therapy. We all desperately need therapy. We just had so we have a relationship coach, and he's a therapist, and he's been working with me and Jocelyn because we believe in investing in every area of our life, not just business masterminds, right? So he's done amazing things in our life, but we just flew him in, and we did family therapy all weekend with our kids for the first time. Awesome. It was so cool. And it was hard for the kids because, one, I don't think you really understand how your parents traumatized, not, little T or big T. You don't really understand it until you're like about 35. Then you get it, right? Then you're like, okay, now we can do the work. But it's almost like we were doing the work to introduce the work so they would understand how the work works when they got there. And then Jocelyn and I were, Jocelyn said the other day, it was hilarious. She's like, we need to record videos about therapy and stuff so that if we die, the kids will know that they should go to therapy forever. Right. So I love it. What kind of therapist are you? What do you do?
So I specialize in perinatal mental health and ADHD and early childhood mental health.
Rock on. Awesome. Doing the work out there. Cool. And what's your biggest win in your online business lately? And are you trying to do the same thing online? Are you trying to expand that out into courses and communities? What are you trying to do with that?
So I'm still working full time. So I'm in the beginning stages of starting the online. So I'm going to do, I'm based out of Minnesota, so I can only see clients in Minnesota. So the online part would be to expand to do kind of more of the coaching side within the community.
Reach. Yeah. Beautiful. That's absolutely amazing. Awesome stuff. And then what's your biggest win in your business from the last couple of weeks?
Well, I am technically launching in September, October. So
yeah, we got a launch coming up. Hey, it's funny. We've literally had thousands of people come through this program, and of course, a lot of people just don't even get to launch. They just let fears and obstacles and stuff. So
I can see
it's a huge deal to get the doors open because you can't have customers till the doors open. Yep. So now you got a chance. You got an opportunity. Cool. So what's your question? How can we help you?
Yeah. So my question is seeing if I'm being maybe too narrow or if kind of how I'm trying to pitch it is maybe a little confusing. So basically, the idea is that the community would be supporting moms with ADHD during pregnancy throughout kind of the early childhood years. Because right now there's a lot more support once they're 6 and older for families with ADHD, but there's not that really early intervention. So focusing particularly on the moms with ADHD, but then also I really love the parent-child support. And so with ADHD being really highly genetic, wanting to provide some guidance for moms whose kids may or may not, be showing signs of ADHD, but there's challenging behaviors, if that makes sense.
For sure. Yep. This is fascinating. Okay, so you actually have you have 2 avatars is the issue here. It's not 2 ideas. You have 2 avatars. Okay. So and that's usually a recipe for disaster is to try to have 2 avatars in the beginning. Yeah. You can definitely have more avatars as you get bigger, right? Okay. So let's just frame this as this is not an either or, it's an and. Okay. It's a which one first is the real question. I think it's fascinating that the marketing would write itself to say, are you a mom who just got pregnant and you have ADHD? Does ADHD affect your life? Because if it does, it's really going to affect your life when you're pregnant and you've got 9 months to have this baby. And then what is that going to look like after this new human gets there? Yeah. Right. Yep.
Exactly.
I think that is an amazing angle, and that has to affect millions of people a month worldwide.
And it's just starting to get recognition within the ADHD field, but there's still not a lot of people doing it. So I'm trying to really get in there early.
Have you done any keyword research about moms with ADHD and pregnancy? If you go, we use a tool. Let me log in here. We use a program called vidIQ. Shameless plug for vidIQ. It lets you search the search traffic stuff on YouTube, so you get to see what people are actually looking for. But there's a lot of different tools like that. You know what I'm saying? But this tool lets you say you could type in moms pregnant with ADHD. How do I go through pregnancy with ADHD? Yeah. How do I go through whatever? And you can search for that and you can make content about this. But I love that. I mean, I'm not saying neither one is good or bad. It's just like therapy. There's not a good or bad. We're not going to put labels on this, Gretchen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's challenges, there's benefits, but neither. It's an and, not an either or, right? So we're going to do some therapy on this avatar right now. Okay. I know all the language, right?
You do. You do it well.
I did as well. So I think that some research on that just to dial in your content, but I really love this topic. I think it's really cool. And man, what a impact that could make on the kid's life. I feel your passion for helping the parent-child relationship and the kid. Yes. But it's almost go to the root. The root is then you help the mom, that'll automatically help the kid. It won't matter at that point.
Well, this is super helpful because I think my fear coming out of is it going to be too narrow of just focusing on moms with ADHD during pregnancy and, after, but.
Hold on, watch this. Let me say, how many people get pregnant every month? So there are 3,600,000 births a year in just the United States, which is the biggest market on the planet. All right. So I'm going to do some math here. 3,600, divide that by 12. There's 300,000 people getting knocked up right now. Okay, people, y'all know what I'm saying? There's some people out there right now that are making babies. Okay. So what we got to figure out is, can you get 300 of them to pay you $50 a month? I mean, that's all you need. Right, you got 3 million people getting pregnant. How many of those have ADHD? What percentage of the population has ADHD? Do you know that? Different things I'm seeing are somewhere between 5 and 15%. Okay, of people are. If we assume that some of those are misdiagnosed, so let's just say it's 8. Let's say it's 8%. So let's take that same number. There are 300,000 people, in theory, getting pregnant every month. Right. Yeah. All right, and then so we multiply that times, let's say 8%. If the numbers and stats hold true with a sample size that large, it has to be close, right? There's 24,000 moms with ADHD getting pregnant every month. Come on now. That's a market. You don't need them all.
Super encouraging. I needed that.
Okay. So that's cool. So that gives you like a good focus. And then let's just take the avatar. What I would do, this is something I do, and we'll finish with this. Take the other avatar. Okay. And I want you to write out how you want to serve them. I want you to spend an hour or two doing that. This is the other avatar with the moms and stuff. Just say, man, this would be amazing. Get that out, get it out of your system. And then at the end of it, be like, I'm going to do this later.
Okay.
Not I might do this later. I'm going to do this later. And then just file it away. And I would print it, put it in a folder, put it in a drawer, and let your brain let it go. Yeah. And then it's there. And now you can totally focus on this one avatar, and you can go out and you can release this out in the world. So very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, is your website up? Do you already have your website up right now?
I hired someone. She's working on it as we speak, and it'll be done by next week.
Okay, so what's the tell everybody the domain name, and by the time this comes out somewhere when people hear it, or maybe they can watch the replay, it might be out. Okay, so what's your domain name?
So parent, and then I do have a dash, which I guess now I've heard that's
dashes are fine. Don't just don't use more than one. It's fine. Yeah.
So parent-childbond.com.
Awesome stuff. Great questions today. Love the space. Love the niche. And, this is a great time for me to actually shameless plug something. I love to shameless plug things. If you're not shameless plugging, are you even an online marketer? Like, what is going on? Okay. So in that last call, I told you about, me and Jocelyn have been on this amazing healing journey over the past few years of just growing as individuals, up-leveling as humans, getting our mind right, and, therapy, things like that. We're big believers in that. If you're not in therapy, go sign up for Better Health or do something. We hire therapists on our team because we need people in the community that can do it. But Jocelyn, who loves Jocelyn? Can we give Jocelyn some love? Who loves Jocelyn Sams? Jocelyn, of course, was on the podcast for the first probably 5 or 6 years of the show. She stepped back. A lot of that was because of our mental health journey and, just the stresses of being entrepreneurs, influencers, podcasters, kids growing up, all the life stuff, right? She stepped back for a few years, and we've been on a really cool journey. And Jocelyn is actually launching a brand new podcast very soon. It may be out when you guys hear this on replay later. We're launching a brand new podcast. We will be launching a new show called the Heal and Grow Show. And it is going to be all about mental health journey. We're going to be talking a lot about treatment-resistant depression, treatment-resistant mindset issues, and holistic alternative healing methods, just all kinds of different things to really reach out there and help people really deal with the most important thing, and that's the mindset stuff. Like most of our people come in, it's not that they can't do Kajabi or they can't have a good product or they don't know their avatar. Everybody checks the boxes. It's really just the fears, traumas, mindset issues, the ego, all these things that we have to deal with. That's what really holds people back. So we're actually going to have, I'm going to stay on the entrepreneur side. I'm here to help you earn your income online, grow it and scale it, and build the life you've always wanted. That's fun, right? That's what we do here every week or every day inside of our community. And Jocelyn is going to be doing Heal and Grow. We're going to talk about the personal development side, the mindset side, and the healing side, because once you heal all that stuff, it opens up all these other doors. So Jocelyn, we're gonna have a new podcast. I'm gonna be co-hosting that podcast with Jocelyn, and we're gonna be bringing in powerful, epic, world-renowned healers to help you get through all these different things. We're gonna be interviewing people like that we view. Our relationship coach is going to be one of our guests on the show, because we want I think every marriage, if you have a great marriage, a great relationship, you're just going to succeed more in your life and your business, right? We're going to be bringing in members of this community who've built incredible businesses, people like Kathleen King from Primal Trust. She's got over 1,500 people in her membership. She uses somatic healing, which is physical movement and body work, to actually help you heal from trauma. And it's why eventually, I don't know if it's going to happen right away soon, but we're rebranding a little bit, right? Because we believe that Heal and Grow is going to handle the personal side. Flipped Lifestyle currently, we're going to probably call that Earn and Grow. So Heal and Grow and Earn and Grow. And Shane and Jocelyn will be kind of the overarching brand. But, our goal has always been to change the world and to throw a pebble in the pond and cause a ripple. And we think the best use of our time is to help people take care of their mental health and then help people take care of their income health, right? If you've got your mind right and you got your bank account right, there's not much you can't accomplish in the world, y'all. Right. And here at Team S&J, Shane and Jocelyn, we do big things. So we're going to try that out. That's going to be coming really soon. We'll be sending emails out about that. Who's going to subscribe to Heal and Grow the day it comes out? Kevin said, I'm subscribing and I'm editing it because he's our editor. And he's in the house tonight. Hey, Kevin, jump on here real quick. That's pretty cool. Like, right? Like, imagine how's that going to workflow? Let's tangent here. Let's spotlight Kevin Crow. Look at Kevin Crow. Give Kevin Crow a hand. This is the producer of all content. We call him the content wizard around here. Like, you guys don't hear anything we produce without it going through Kevin's ears. We're doing something cool here. This is I was going to let you speak to this. So we're adding a second podcast, right? And of course, that will have other ramifications. Like, we will have we practice what we preach. We drink our own Kool-Aid. Jocelyn's new business is going to be, it's going to have a podcast. It's going to have an email list. It's going to have a community. How do you manage all the content, Kevin? Like, how do you manage it? Like, I know a lot of people out there are editing their own podcasts and doing those things. Like, how do you organize it? How do you get your workflow going? And how does that work into your life? I know yesterday you said you all were going to the bookstore or something right in the middle of the day or whatever. Yeah. Like, how do you do it? Because I don't even know this, because I just tell you, will you edit this, please? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah. I use a lot of Google stuff. So Google Drive, Google Sheets, just to kind of keep especially because I'm working on multiple things, right? I have Flip Lifestyle. I have a couple of like side clients that I edit podcasts for.
And Kevin has his own online business. That's a big thing here, is we push our people to have their own side hustle and build that too. So I have one Google Sheet that I call the mother of all to-do lists. And it's got each separate thing in its own column. Like, I got Flip Lifestyle here, like what's coming down the pipeline. But I have another Google Sheet that just has like Flip Lifestyle schedule and like record date, release date. And then each column is like, is it recorded? Is it edited? Has it been scheduled out? So I just I do it that way. Yeah.
And also
I love it. I think people get too crazy. We did this. We fell into this trap. We had when we were doing our live event stuff, it was really complicated. And like, the only way we could survive was to use a more robust software at that time,
Mm-hmm.
But that was just a clue to me that we built the wrong business. That was what it really was. In hindsight, is like, oh God, why did we do that to ourselves?
Right.
Like, but I think Google Sheets is a very powerful, easy tool to use, man. And you can almost organize anything in there. Monday.com is fantastic. Like, it's for sure.
Yeah.
But like, it's like but a spreadsheet type thing, people devalue the columns and rows, baby. Right.
I know. I think people have different things. Like, for me, visually, if I have just columns and rows and color coded things, I'm good. Like, I'll put it yellow if it's in progress. I'll put it green if it's published, just as for visuals for myself.
That's super interesting. So me and you are in the caveman school of organization. Hey, Carrie Kitchen, jump on here real quick. Director of Operations, Carrie Kitchen, coming on the program. Hi, Carrie. Hey, so now Carrie prefers Monday.com, which is a powerful tool. So Carrie, and I think some people, I think your brain works different than mine does, because Kevin, we do this thing called Wealth Dynamics. It's like a personality test. Kevin is more in the creative side with me, and you're more on the Lord side. Why do you like a software program like Monday.com better? Because I know a lot of people out there are trying to organize their business. Why do you like that better?
It kind of depends on what the projects are too, though, because there are definitely times that I would absolutely go with just the simple spreadsheet. With Monday.com, the reason I like it is because we were using different platforms, and you can actually connect them, integrate them, and do all kinds of really amazing things like that.
Oh, I see. Automations.
And it is like the automations and integrations and making sure everything talks to each other properly and gets the job done so it's efficient.
That's true. See, I didn't think about that. Yeah, is the ability to zap things and connect things. And even, I think, didn't you have it like where Monday.com would trigger things happening in Kajabi?
Yes.
Wasn't that connected somehow?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would have registration.
So what's an example of how that works? Yeah,
Okay,
what's an example of that?
We would have, in our live events, we would have the Monday.com registration form. And when someone would complete that, depending on what package was purchased and all of that, it would actually zap information to Kajabi and grant the proper offers and all of that. But then we also had it where it would follow up, and we had everything basically organized in that Monday.com in different boards. We could keep track of every part of things there.
Got it. So basically, something like Monday.com that you actually teach and help people set up is like basically it's like it's you want to stay a one-man band. You want to be a one-man show, or like there's so much going on that you just have to automate things, basically.
Right.
You know what I'm
just
saying?
to keep all the wheels turning, because when you have a lot of complication, and at the time we did, but when you have a lot of complication, a lot of things to keep organized, it reduces kind of human error too, because you know that things are going to go right where they need to go, and it's not a lot of copy and paste and things like that. So it kind of reduces the human error part of things, and just helps things to run smoothly, even within Monday.com from board to board, because we could do something and have welcome videos sent out when new members join and things like that, because it's all in that.
Another good use I thought of too at like Monday.com is when you're doing a lot of, like right now, almost all of our business at Team S&J basically is like internal. We're just doing internal stuff right now. But like we had a lot of vendors, and like we were working with different companies, and like being able to communicate through a Monday.com board that you can share with other people was really, really good.
Absolutely. Because you can share boards and give specific people access to only what boards you want them to see, even if they're not on your team.
Love it. One of the things we're actually starting this right now, we actually were talking about this morning, is we're going to do a lot more behind the scenes stuff so you can see how our team operates. Carrie, Kevin, Patricia, all of our team, they're in the forums, they're hanging out, and we're going to start sharing what we're doing on a daily basis pretty much, to be like, hey, here's what we're working on today. Here's how we're doing it. We're throwing out tips, throwing out tricks, so you can really see how we run our business. You know, that's one thing I always say. We practice what we preach. We drink our own Kool-Aid. If we're going to tell you to do something, we're probably going to do it. All right, Patricia, who we got next?
We got Jonathan Harris.
Jonathan, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Shane. Thanks for all your help with all these people. It's amazing.
Oh, it's fun, man. This is my jam right here, man. I could just sit here and do this all day. I love it, right? It's fun. This is fun stuff, man. Where I get to talk to people. It's good stuff, man. Hey, tell us real quick, what's your online business idea and what you're doing, and then tell us your biggest win for the last little bit.
I'm 63 years old. I'm turning 64 next month. And so I'm part of that huge baby boomer generation, you know, with kids were everywhere, right? I mean, it was pretty crazy back in the 60s and 70s. And you
never had to look for anybody to play with out on the street during that time. You know what I'm saying?
No.
People now are like, these kids need to go outside. No, there ain't nobody out there. It's not the 50s. You know what I'm saying? So
Shane, I'm not kidding you. We had a black and white TV this big with 5 stations.
Oh yeah, man. 5. Now I was born after you, so I had 13 when I started in the 80s. So we had almost tripled by the time they got to me, man. 5 stations. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, what's it like? Hold on. What's it like now? This is so weird. You went from 5 TV stations to the sum of all human knowledge in your pocket. Like, that's crazy when you think about that, right? Isn't that nuts?
Oh man, you know, I've got 6 and 7-year-olds teaching me how to do computer stuff, because it's like I wasn't born with that. So
our kids have phones. They're 12 and 14. And so they have phones. We have phones. We take the approach of, they're going to be connected to the internet for the rest of their lives. We need to help them navigate this now. It's not about delaying this. Like, they must have it. I think kids that don't have phones are at a severe disadvantage. And I'll probably have hate in the parenting comments on this. But but what we spot check them, we monitor them, and you know, we were looking through our kids' phones the other day we took their phones because they got in trouble for fighting. So we took their phones, right. and then we spot check. That's what we do, is we spot check when they get in trouble for something else, so we don't tie it to the phone.
Right.
And you know, and 99.9% of the stuff on there, they're so good. They're doing so well. And we actually sat down and told them, I am so proud of you, because we did not grow up with these phones, and they're teaching us about etiquette and things like that. Like, there's no playbook right now for how to raise a child, a teenager. And it's actually phenomenal to see how kids who were born at a time, both of my kids were born after the iPhone was invented. They just don't know another world. And we should learn from them, because we're all posting pictures of our meals and crap, and they're taking over the world. So it's incredible, dude. Yeah, but what's that like for you? Like, you're starting an online business and you grew up with 5 TV shows.
It's pretty crazy. You know what's funny, Shane, is we'd go over to a friend's house, you know, the rich people, so to speak. We grew up middle class like everybody else, and I guess they were upper middle class. They had these big, huge wooden TVs, weighed like 600 pounds, and they were color. We'd go over there and go, wow, you have color TV. Whoa.
Whoa, man. Yeah. That's a great. Now Chat GPT can write your life story with a click of a button. The AI.
That's right.
Great. All right, cool, man. That's
So
wait, how's your business going? What's your business going to be about?
I'm just starting. I got the URL. I'm working on a website right now. So here's what's going on. Okay. I'm turning 64 in a couple weeks. And there's a lot of people in my age brackets that have a lot of health problems. And so the average male my age takes 4 or 5 pharmaceutical drugs for high blood pressure and all sorts of problems, maybe diabetes. So there's a lot of health problems with people in my age group. Now, for me, my blood work comes back. I do it every year. It comes back perfect. My heart rate right now is 54 beats per minute. My blood pressure is like 110/65. Right now, this minute in Denver, Colorado, it's 9:15 a.m. I could jump on my bicycle and bike 30 miles nonstop up this huge hill and come back home, and it wouldn't even bother me. So I feel like I'm 35 or 40. And there's not a lot of people my age in the baby boomer generation that have this kind of health. And I'd like to go online and share my story and how they can get to this place, because I don't drink alcohol. I don't take any pharmaceutical drugs. I eat pretty much a 90% fresh fruits and vegetables diet. I don't drink soda pop. I don't do any of that.
Go on, son. You might be able to bottle up your blood and just sell it for transfusions. Good Lord. You're the healthiest human being I've ever met in my entire life.
I can literally, dude. No, I'm not kidding. I can get 6 hours of sleep and go all day without a nap, do 8 hours of work and work out. And I'd like to bring that to my peers that are having health problems.
So what's your biggest hang up right now? Where are you stuck and where can we go forward? What's your question?
How do I build a community? And do I do it for free? Do I charge? I was thinking charging $25 a month, and that I'll be online with them for an hour one time a month. And then for $297 a month, I will coach them weekly and show them. I mean, literally, I could do videos on what I put together to eat, what I take for vitamins, my workouts, everything. And I could actually post my blood work and show them my blood work is my HDL, really my LDL levels are perfect.
That's like entrepreneurs will often post their earnings, like to show how much money they're making. But I love the posting the blood work. You could even do that regularly. So here's the very first thing you have to do. Okay, we can go down a rabbit hole here forever.
Right.
First of all, kudos. 63, starting an online business, getting after it. I always tell people on stage, Colonel Sanders actually started KFC. He didn't cook his first bucket of chicken until he was 63. So you're right there with the Colonel, baby. You got this. You can build the empire, son. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah. I love that joke because I am from the hometown. My hometown is where Colonel Sanders started KFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like Colonel Sanders is like a legend here. We have a statue of him in the middle of the town and all kinds of crazy stuff.
What do you think of my niche?
Absolutely love it. I mean, because it's so personal to you. You have a passion about this.
I do.
It's clearly, you can do some of the most powerful online businesses are documentary style businesses because you're already doing all these things. You just have to start documenting them. It's not like you have to come up with ideas. You literally just have to record a video of how you're making your shake in the morning or whatever. Right. So it's super easy to make content.
Right.
Super easy to get it out there. Now, but the one I want you to forget about marketing right now. I want you to forget about sales. I even kind of want you to forget about your product right this second, because I feel like the offer you said out loud is going to come together really quickly. In this kind of space, the only thing that really matters is that you tell your story correctly. You have to craft the narrative of why Jonathan is the guy to listen to, right? And, at a higher level, we call this a story pitch. That's what we call it inside of our community. It's a methodology that I teach on how to tell your story in the right order, how to pick the right beginning. Like no one's going to be like, if you start your story and, in 1965, I decided to get healthy. That's not going to work, right? There's going to be a part of your story that has to be told. and told everywhere forever. You know, I think I've done like something like 200 interviews or something like that. I've spoken on stages all across the country. I've countless times told my story through my podcast, through my email, through everything else. I tell the same story everywhere I go to a different audience, period. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So what I would tell you to do right now is there actually is a training inside of our community blueprint where I teach at a very high level, just kind of going through the outline of how to break down your story, how to tighten it up, how to use it to overcome objections to the purchasing and things like that of your product, and how you can kind of craft that story. Because if you get your story right, then anyone who wants your story to be their story will buy your product. That's it.
Where do I find that? Where do I find that on the training?
What you can do, it's inside the community. It's inside the blueprint. All you have to do, if you need some help with that, just go into the forums and say, hey, I'm looking for the storytelling course. Okay. And someone can drop a link to it in the replies. Okay. So that's okay. All you got to do. Anybody has access to that right now. I think telling your story correctly is the most important thing you can ever do, because what do you do in your email marketing? You tell your story. What do you do in your webinars? You tell your story. What do you do if you're on stage? You tell your story. What do you do in your book? You tell your story. And you tell it over and over and over again to new people, and those new people become new customers, right? So Jonathan, man, you got a great story. You have a great result. You will tell your story first, and then as you help people, you will tell their story through testimonials. And then it kind of becomes like a snowball going downhill. That snowball gets a little bigger and bigger with each testimony, each person you help. I would also do something guerrilla warfare style in your case. I would guess you're in a community there in Colorado. You probably know a lot of people in their 50s and 60s and 70s that are not healthy. I would go and I would find a couple people and I would say, look, I'm going to be your personal trainer for free. And I will help you for the next 12 weeks. We're going to take your blood test at the beginning. We're going to take your blood test at the end, because I think the whole story is going to revolve around that blood test number and how you reveal your blood test every month or something like that, or every other month. I think you need to go find 3 people and you need to say, you're my guinea pigs. Your blood test, all your numbers are going to go up in 3 months. And then you've got 3 testimonials for your sales page and your story. Okay. So maybe get some clients right now. I mean, if you can charge them. Don't get me wrong. Be like, hey, dude, you give me $500 in 12 weeks, your blood's going to be better. You're going to get off the pills and we're going to make you healthier. You need testimonials, right? So focus on that right now. Focus on your story. Focus on helping 3 people that you know. Find 3 people that you know in your community that you can help right now. And that way, when you're ready to go worldwide with it, you've already got the testimonials and the story in.
Baby boomers have money, and about a third to 30 to 40% have a lot of health problems.
For sure. And I know this works. There's an influencer online. I can't remember his name, but he looks like a vampire. He's so healthy. And like he does this. He shares his blood work every month. And then he has a membership community where people pay him to reveal his blood work, his diet, his all those things. And they just copy him. So this is a thing. This works. It doesn't matter the age group or the whatever. So you just got to go carve out your niche. I believe the right story and the right offer can sell to any audience. Right? Like the story that we told when we launched our first online business was at a website called elementarylibrarian.com. And all we were selling there was lesson plans, not sexy, kind of boring. Like, here's lesson plans for your library, because librarians have to teach 6 times a day. And like, but it wasn't about that that was the product for sure. You know, you were selling the way to get there. But here's the story we told. Actually, let me tell it from Jocelyn's point of view. So Jocelyn told this story in her website, basically. Hey, guys, I was a librarian. And, you know, most people don't realize that librarians work really hard. We have 6 different class age groups a day. That means we have to create 6 different lessons every day of the year for 200 days a year. Where do you create those lessons? In your 30-minute planning period? No. You create them at home from 3:30 to 7:30 every night. And you know what happens when you're creating those lessons? You're missing time with your kids. You're drifting away from your spouse, and you're not focusing on self-care. So you're falling apart. So what we did was we sat down and we created a whole year of lesson plans so that we never had to go home at 3:30 again and miss that precious time with our family. And now what we're doing in the elementary librarian community is we're giving you access to all of those lesson plans. You will never have to plan a lesson again. That means at 3:30, when the bell rings, you get to get in your car and you get to go pick up your kids from school, and you get to go home and you get to play with them on the playground, make them dinner. You get to hang out with them and be a part of them. When your husband or your wife gets home, you get to sit down and watch a Netflix video with your spouse. You get to have some alone time away from everybody because you're not working on your lesson plans. When I got all my lesson plans done for me, it set my family free. And now we want you to be free too. So where do you want to sign up? It's only $49 a month, and you'll never have to plan a lesson again, and you'll get your family and your evenings back. I just made that up, by the way. I don't even remember what the sales page said, but like I'm using my framework that I teach in my blueprint. I can come up with any story anytime on the fly. I can do that at will, not because I'm special. I'm a dude from Kentucky, right? It's because there's a framework called the story pitch framework that we use. But that was the story that we told. Can you tell how that would be compelling? Right? You can do the exact same thing. You take that story that you're trying to convey to your audience. And if you tell that story, like what elementary librarian would not sign up for that after hearing that 2-minute story that I just told? Right? So you can do the same thing. Jonathan can go in and tell the exact same story of how he keeps his blood work in check, and that gives him a healthy, better life. And he's able to enjoy his grandkids. He's not just able to experience them. All right, guys, that wraps up the live portion of our show. But before we go, I always like to grab one more question from our forums. We got community forums going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We have literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members and alumni in there masterminding and talking about making money online, about earning their income on the internet, about growing their impact out in the world every single day. You can be a part of that too. Just head over to our website and check it out. I was in there earlier today and I grabbed this question from Ashley. Ashley said, I searched my idea and it looked like there were millions of posts out there, millions of people doing it. I just am so overwhelmed. I think my niche might be oversaturated. If I find a lot of people doing what I do, does this mean it's a no-go, or should I do this idea anyway? All right. I actually do not believe that any niche is truly oversaturated. When you hear about like market oversaturation, you're probably hearing about these big corporate entities like the computer chip market is oversaturated with 3 companies, right? Like it doesn't really apply to us, because the way we teach things, the way we teach you how to earn your income online and grow your impact out in the world, well, we say all I need is 100 people to pay me $100 a month. And guess what? That's $120,000 a year. That's $10,000 a month times 12, 120 grand. Like that's a good living, right? You can totally get, maybe it's 200 people paying you $50 a month, right? Or whatever the number is, the math. You don't need that many people. You just need your piece of the pie. You need people to relate to you. And Ashley, you have a unique personality. You have a unique story. You have a unique gift. So the market can't be oversaturated. You're a market of one. So no, I say if you want to do this, if you say, if there's people looking for it out there and there's already other people doing it, that's actually a really good clue. Competition is a great clue that an online market exists. There is a pie and you've just got to get your piece of the pie, right? So I would say go for it, get out there, go green light, go out there and find your 100 people. I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet, Ashley. You only need 100 people in your membership community paying you every month to make a great living for you and your family. So don't ever let competition scare you away. The internet's a big place and those people can't serve them all. So go find your customers, go find your income, go find your impact and make it happen. That's all the time we have for this week. I can't wait to see you next time. Until then, get out there, take action and build the life you've always wanted.